Good morning. Forgot to turn my music on. Let me go back. Here we go.
Well, my sink is shining, but I'm not whining. I'm flying. I'm just a baby stepping, and I'm not obsessing. I'm flying. I've got my list of things to do, and I'm ready for action in the lace up shoes. Well, I'm no martyr, I'm just working smarter. I'm flying.
Good morning, everybody. I see my sister Dina and her husband are in here. They're the ones that gave me this wonderful cream that I put on my face, and I put it right here and right here each night, and I am loving it. And 3 times a week I use the scrub on it. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. It's just part of my nighttime routine. I'm running late today. Sorry about that. My nephew called and we had a little talk. Ben is learning a lot about himself. Please pray for him. He is trying to figure out which halfway house he wants to go to. There's one in Nashville and one in Knoxville. So please pray for him to make the right decision. It's important that he go to a place that can give him structure and help him find a job and do some wonderful things. So say a prayer for Ben. Also say a prayer for most men, because most men, they don't guard what they say. And they don't mean to be say things mean sometimes, but they do, and they're just protecting their own little hearts. I think I told you yesterday about one time Robert said that our website looked like an Easter egg, and it broke my heart because I'd been working hard on the website, and I wanted it color coded because I like color codes. But he didn't mean to hurt my feelings. He didn't know that I'd been working on it. I don't tell him everything that we do at Fly Lady. It was just, he just said it, and it wasn't anything. But it hurt my feelings, and I told him later that he knew it hurt my feelings because I burst out in tears. But it's the only little tiff we've ever had. It really wasn't a tiff. So we have to think about what we say. And this whole next week, I'm going to be discussing our words. The words we say affect people. And it's so appropriate that this came up yesterday when I was talking. I think it's the Holy Spirit working here. We have to be aware of what we're saying. We have to choose our words. And think about how the other person feels. I know I watch Scott Adams every day. I listen to him every day, and he's up on my phone, and I'm watching him. And I see when he thinks he's going to say something, I have seen him stop himself in mid-sentence. No, I'm not going to say it. He actually says it out loud. I am not going to say that. And I've been impressed with that, because that's hard to do, is to hear the words coming out of your mouth before you say them. It's like having them on a TV screen on your forehead, on the inside of your forehead, and you see those words coming out of your mouth and you stopping them in mid-sentence. Stopping them in mid-sentence to actually think about how somebody is going to take those words and how it's going to make them feel, or how it's going to start gossip, or how what you say could be misconstrued, if that's the right word. You have to think about the words that come out of your mouth and how somebody else is going to react to them. And that's a talent. That it's not something we're born with. It's something we can start to practice. So slow your speech down. I mean, there's some people on TV that talk so fast I can't even understand them. But we have to recognize what's going on inside of us that would want us to say that would trigger those words to come out of our mouth. So if we're feeling angry about something, sometimes we let some words fly. And as we talked about yesterday with our little 3:00 tea party, what doesn't matter just doesn't matter. You don't have to say everything you think. You really don't. You can guard your words. And my granny always said, I'm going to write a book about Granny one day. My granny always said, if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. So don't say hateful things. Now, there's a way to get your feelings across to somebody. If you're feeling hurt and put down, besides bursting into tears like I did, but you can write about it. You can write down how you were feeling and how you were fixing to react to what they said instead of you don't have to do that anymore. You don't have to do that anymore. It takes two people to argue. You don't have to argue with somebody. In fact, arguing never really wins. The only way you can get your point across is in love. So sometimes you can discuss things in past tense. Okay, for example, if I hadn't burst out crying with Robert when he said that my website looked like an Easter egg, I could have just zipped it. Now, this is not about stuffing my feelings. This is about being constructive in your comments. This is a debating tool. Sit down and think about why you felt the way you felt and write it down. And then as you're thinking about it, construct your argument. And the argument in the sense of standing in front of a jury and arguing a case. Put down some bullet points. 3 tops. 3 bullet points. I spent a long time working on it. And when you said it looked like an Easter egg, I felt like my whole, what I'd spent the last 6 months working on was for nothing. So that made me feel like my work was no good. Okay. Second point, Robert was a guy. My website isn't just for guys. It's for women. And the third thought was I wanted it color-coded because colors make me happy. And I can tell you, go down to the red section. Go down to the yellow section. Go down to the blue section. Now, it's not like that anymore, but I had a reason for my Easter egg. I had a reason. So think about before you speak. Think about it before you speak. And then if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. And sometimes the best way to get out of if somebody's trying to pick a fight with you, don't play into their game. Just agree with them. Just agree with them. And go on about your business. And then you think about it. And then the next day, when everything's calmed down, you can talk about it in a constructive manner. Maybe it's over dinner. Yesterday, when you said my website looked like an Easter egg, this is how I felt. You know? Always take a deep breath. Sometimes you need to walk away. Go outside. Just get away from the situation. Don't escalate it by doing this. Don't do that. Because nobody wins at that point. Figure out what you're feeling and then come up with 3 bullet points and then discuss it in past tense. Yesterday, this is how I felt. So, what doesn't matter, doesn't matter. The fact that my website looked like an Easter egg really didn't matter. Well, it doesn't look like an Easter egg anymore. There's been several editions of FlyLady.net. But that's just the example I'm giving you. Because Robert and I have never had a fight. It's hard to give an example of a fight with Robert because we don't fight. He thinks about what he says. I think about what I say. And I know if I said this last week, there's a commercial on TV about don't mess with my discount. Well, guess what? It's State Farm. And I'm a State Farm girl. So I've told my agent, well, he's on a fishing trip. I've told my agent that I sent word with Justin he's a friend of Justin's, that I don't like that commercial. I'm going to send a little note to State Farm that commercial is offensive to me as a woman. Because you don't talk to your husband that way. I don't care if you are in labor. You don't talk to your husband that way. So, guard your words. Hear them in your mind, because we got lots of stuff going on in our minds. Let's slow our lives down enough to where we can stop and think about what you're going to say and how this other person is going to react to it. Everything that happens around me in my life is always a lesson for you in somehow, some way. It's something that you need to learn, that God is trying to impress upon me that I need to discuss this. And sure enough, I was talking about this yesterday. And it pops up today. So think before you speak. Feel before you speak. Put yourself in the other person's shoes. How would that person feel if I said those things? And not everything is about protecting your heart. You can't get defensive. Like yesterday, I had a talk with Constant Contact. And I told my representative, I said, I'm afraid I'm going to get super defensive because I am very particular about my mailing list. There's nobody on the mailing list that's ever wanted to unsubscribe. The list is clean. People add themselves, people take them off. Now, we'll take you off if you don't want to be on it. But the main thing is, my mailing list is clean. And I don't want people to tell me that I'm doing something wrong by sending 6 or 7 emails out a day. We've been doing this for 20 years. And what we do works to change the way you think. So this lady named Kelly was the person that deals with when we get spam copped and you're not getting our emails. And I told her, I said, I was afraid I was going to get defensive, but I think you understand what we're trying to do. The new people that come on the platform, they need to know that when they send to a spam trap and constant contact servers get spam cocked, it hurts me. It hurts my ladies. So I think she's going to get the point across to the people who deal with newcomers, and we'll just see. It's Saturday. You get out there and have some fun with your family. I'm on my soapbox today, but I want you to be aware of the words you say. They are important, and this is a preview for our essays for next week. It's all about, the legacy you leave, and are your children going to remember what a bad mouth you had? So keep in mind, those words don't go away. You have to stop them and pretty much eliminate the negativity that was going to come out of your mouth. I love you all. I will see you at 3:00 this afternoon. We're gonna pick a topic for our tea time. See you later. Love you all. Bye.